One, two, three.
Boom. Hello. We are live. We are live
There we
right
go.
now. I think we're live. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out shortly, right?
I got to wait for some people to roll into the chat. I know you already had yours up. I unfortunately didn't have a chance to get that out to everybody, so I'm just sitting here patiently waiting for my viewers to roll in.
Let's see. Can you guys see us? I just messaged them. Normally they'll pop in with the comments pretty quickly, but...
Well, so you have viewers on your side?
Yep, we are live, they said.
Can they hear me?
Can you guys hear the Crypto Zombie all right? I'm going to move this around so I can actually see what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, all right, cool. So we got people rolling into the chat on my side. So, yeah, we're pretty good over here. All right, guys, so I know that this was a kind of impromptu, although we did kind of speak about it earlier. We were giving hints that we were going to be doing this.
Yes.
If you guys didn't see CryptoCandor, she did a little guest intro in my video, which I thought was kind of funny.
It was a good idea. I'm glad we did it. It was definitely interesting, and I looked forward to the video coming out at noon because I knew it was going to be on it, so I wanted to read all the comments and see what everybody was talking about. So I'm glad everybody seemed to like it. It was well received.
Hey, what's up? So I got people on my side. What is going on? How are you? Crypto J in the house. What is up, buddy? All right. Okay. Yes. Hi. Hello. What is up? Yes. Can you guys hear CryptoCandor on my channel? Is she clear?
Testing, testing.
She good?
I assume as much.
All right. Great. Nice. Okay. So they are saying
cool.
They are saying hello. Somebody
greetings, everyone.
Somebody says, who is Crypto Zombie? Why are you on my chat if you're asking? What are you doing on my channel and you don't know who I am? Okay, all right, dude, we're getting thumbs up across the board. We're live. We're straight. Cool. People are watching, so let's do this. CryptoCandor. Right. If you guys don't know, she has an excellent channel that I recently just came across on. Yeah, no, definitely. I came across it by accident, actually. I think it was your Charles Hoskinson interview that
seems to be the one.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. I don't even know how a person even gets Charles Hoskinson on the line. So
I don't really know how it happened either. He just messaged me. I did my Cardano video, and I got really, really good reviews. Everybody loved it, and I tried because I put a lot of time into researching it. And then he messaged me on Twitter and was like, "Hey, you want to do a video? Want to interview?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." I was terrified, but it was great, and I'm super happy about it because, like you said, it's definitely a big part of why people find me now. So it worked out in my favor.
No, that's incredible. I mean, that's all it takes, you know? I mean, unfortunately, my big video was the one where I either talked about Wanchain not buying the hype and I got like a bunch of dislikes, or the one where I was talking about the Neo FUD. So my biggest videos are like the biggest FUD videos, which is not what my channel's about.
That's not a bad thing if you're honest.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do, guys? So, CryptoCandor. Why don't you explain who you are, man, how you got involved in this? I know you've been involved in Bitcoin even longer than myself, so tell everyone about your story.
Yeah, so pretty much somebody owed me money, and they paid me in Bitcoin, and I left it. Well, they told me to set up a Coinbase account, and I didn't even know what it was. This was about a year and a half ago now. Set up a Coinbase account. They're like, send me your Bitcoin address. I'm like, my what? Like, you got to go on. It's a string of letters and numbers, and it looks ridiculous. I'm like, okay. Sent them that. They sent me Bitcoin. I was like, all right, I don't really know what to do with this now. So I left it in Coinbase. Like a month later, I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. I have Bitcoin. Went back and checked. It was up in value. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. And then I started searching. And I fell down the rabbit hole. And then I started buying Ethereum when it was 17 bucks. And, yeah, so that's pretty much my rabbit hole story. But I think I was just so overwhelmed by not knowing anything about a topic that I just jumped in head first. So that's kind of how that came about.
How did you start like doing videos though? I mean,
so I was there's a Slack for the Bitcoin markets, the Reddit subreddit. There's a Slack, and they have like a ridiculous amount of people, like 2,000 people in there. And I was always asking questions, writing like little articles on Steemit, and a bunch of people were like, "You should make videos," because I have a secondary channel that I do like auto vlogging, like I go to like car events. So they saw that I already could use a camera and I was already making YouTube videos. So like, well, why don't you make videos and teach yourself about crypto and then also teach other people? I'm like, that's a terrible idea. Nobody's going to want to watch. So I just kind of started doing it on a whim, and I got like the nicest comments ever from people, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah. And then I started like networking and meeting people like you and Lark, and it's really I'm blown away, but it's been really fun.
It's a lot more friendly than people think. You know, like,
absolutely.
I try to explain to people, you know, like in the real world, somebody like you and me would essentially be like competition. But, you know, in crypto world, it's like, no, I mean, it's all word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Because, you know, I was actually talking to Crypto Lark, and we were saying how, you know, nobody's looking at the billboards anymore. Nobody's looking at the commercials.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, everyone's on their phone or word of mouth. I mean, when I go eat at a restaurant or I go get involved in a cryptocurrency, you know, a lot of it is because people are talking about it, and that's what, like, gets me interested to look into it.
So. 100%. That's where 90% of my stuff that I cover my channel, it's, I hear a coin, I'm like, what the hell? What is this about? And then I finally research it. Not because there was marketing, not because somebody, you know, was paid to tell me to look at it. I just kept seeing it, word of mouth. People were talking about it. There was hype, and boom, I covered it. And then that just kind of spirals, and other people do the same thing. So you're right.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It is crazy.
I don't know what's going on your chat. There's a lot of questions over here. I think people are a little upset about the markets right now.
Okay, well, take some questions. It's quiet on my end.
Yeah, no, they're basically saying what is going on with the markets. I mean, I think it's a whirlwind personally. I think it's a bit of everything. I think that, well, I don't know where everybody's watching from, but right now in the US, we are still technically in tax season. So like, yeah, you know, up until April over here, we're still seeing a lot of people, you know, hashing out their issues with how much they owe and the taxes and this and that. And you did see the IRS. They had that big statement that they were coming out saying you better report your taxes and all this stuff. You know, then on top of that, you're seeing the, you know, the Google trend searches going down. And unfortunately, with these types of things, when the price is 20K, everyone and their mother and brother and sister wants to get in and buy. Yeah. And now that the price goes down, it's kind of like, nah, well, you know, forget about that. And it's like, guys, like,
it should be opposite.
Exactly. Like, from an investor standpoint, if you're actually trying to make your money go the farthest it can go, buying in the red is when you're supposed to do it. You know, buying at all-time highs, you're just going to repeat what happened again in January. So,
well, yeah, but people look for instant gratification, and they get that when they buy something and they see it go up. They don't get instant gratification when they make a smart decision and buy something when it's in the red. And if it drops lower, okay, so just wait it out. But you have to plan ahead. You can't buy into something that's already going up. And don't get me wrong, I've certainly done it. I've made my fair share of mistakes being in this kind of, you know, field of whatever, but you learn, right? And so, you know, when people like my family members, like my uncle and my aunt, start asking me, what's Bitcoin? I'm like, oh man, like, that's when I knew that it something was going to give, because the price was astronomical. It just kept going up. And I had family that don't use the internet asking me about Bitcoin. I'm like, this can't be good. So
yeah, I know. And I think everybody's kind of kicking themselves because, I mean, my portfolio, I'm sure everybody's portfolio, like, people think like, oh, you're a crypto YouTuber, you're not hurting. It's like, guys, I'm hurting just as much as you know? Yeah. But,
just
you know,
talk on YouTube doesn't mean that my investments aren't dying.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. It is a roller coaster. It's the Bitcoin roller coaster. But, you know, you've seen guys like Crypto Daily. You know, I think he has over like 100,000 subscribers. He, you know, putting out videos every day, and he kind of like took a hiatus. He was like, I don't know what I can do about these markets. There's not much to talk about. And it's kind of like, but you know, if you really are interested in this, you got to ride the waves, man. You can't just dip out as soon as things go haywire. You know what I mean?
No, and I agree with you, because to me, I'm grateful that I started this channel, because when I got into crypto, the first thing I wanted to do was mine. And I did research. I'm like, nope, that's not going to happen. And I started trading. And instead of just like, you know, I traded regularly, just like normal back and forth off margin. And then I started trading on margin. And I was on, you know, I was in the ETH flash crash. I got the GDAX flash crash. I got it back, thankfully, because they reimbursed everybody. But at that moment, I was like, this is not for me. I got to figure out something else. So the YouTube made me focused on projects, fundamentals, research, communicating with people, you know, kind of doing all this stuff that we're doing now, and focusing less on the markets, Delta, checking my percentage increase every, you know, 15 minutes. Like, all that stuff has died down because this is keeping me busy. So it's a blessing, and it's also much healthier for my life overall. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually funny because before I actually created a YouTube channel, you know, I was just like a regular person like everyone else, just kind of doing their thing. But once people started actually asking me, look into projects, you know, I started actually reading more white papers, and you start to realize that, you know, one of the best hedges against these types of markets, unfortunately, is the tech. You know, the thing that people don't understand is that they're like, oh, the price is down. It's horrible. Throw in the towel. Give up. It's like the tech didn't change, though. Like the projects are the same. The developers are the same. The price is lower. It does not fully reflect what's going on, you know, as far as the... Because it's funny, because you go to these Bitcoin conferences, the last thing they talk about is price. They could care less. They literally don't care about what's going on in the markets, which is funny because on, you know, crypto channels like yours and mine, it's like price is all that anyone's interested in. They want to know about price this and price that. But I always suggest that, you know, you won't freak out as much if you're invested in quality projects. If it's, you know what I'm saying? Like if you invest in something and as soon as you invest, you're just constantly nervous and you're checking every 5 seconds, then you should probably ask yourself, why did you invest, and did you invest more than maybe you should have?
Yeah, you're comfortable with. And on top of it, we also have to keep in mind and always remember that crypto right now, although a lot of people want to disagree with the statement I'm about to say, it is led by Bitcoin right now. Everything's price is related to Bitcoin's price. And unfortunately, that is the name of the game. So when Bitcoin dips, everything else is going to dip harder because everybody's faith in an altcoin, it goes down if they think that Bitcoin is going down. Oh, the #1 coin isn't doing well. So everything else takes a hit. Crypto is so young. It's in such an infantile state. You can't see projects when their price go down and think to throw in the towel. Like you said, it's tech. It's long term. Like projects like Cardano, I mean, these are like 5-year plus holds on some of these projects. So it's hard to remember that because, you know, a lot of the people on our channels that we talk to are relatively young, you know, throwing money at stuff because they're hoping to 10x, but not all projects are going to do that. And you can't, you know, if you expect to 10x something, you should also expect to lose just as much on the next one. Like it's all kind of luck if you're not educating yourself.
Yeah, and these crypto markets, they're so small. Like the thing is that people, you know, we're so heavily invested in it that we think that this is the world. This is it. There's nothing outside of this cryptocurrency space. That's it, right? No, I mean, like seriously, like I was joking with I don't know if you know who Blockchain Brad is, but I was talking to him. Yeah, we were talking the other day. And, you know, me and him were saying that, like, you know, going out into the real world is almost like coming out of prison. Like, it's like I've been locked in a cell for 10 years and I get in my car and I drive and I look out into the real world and I'm like, what's actually going on in the news? Like, I have to ask my friends and family, like, you know, people are worried about, like, what's going on with the North Korean, you know, arms war with Trump. And I'm just like, so is South Korea going to lighten up their ban a little bit or what? They're like, what are you talking about, dude? You know, and it's just like, I'm sorry. I'm obsessed with this, you know, that's what I get.
It's funny that you mentioned that too, because it's like my family's gotten a little bit more aware of kind of what's going on, and they're all taking me a bit more seriously and crypto a bit more seriously since they've seen like my channel grow and like, you know, doing videos like this with people like you, and there being like more of a culture to it. But I actually, because I spend a lot of time commuting, because obviously I don't work in crypto, I have another job. I listen to a lot of podcasts because I try to specifically utilize my time. So actually these guys, Crypto Basic, are my favorite as far as crypto goes, but I also listen to political ones. So literally the only thing that like outside of crypto that I have any clue what's going on is like a small amount of politics, just because I feel like obligated to do so. But you're right. I do all these projects. I have all this information flowing around in my head, and like I'll go like visit family and I can't talk to them about any of it because none of it, it's like I'm speaking another language.
Oh, definitely. And it is a steep learning curve. You know, you take for granted the fact that you start to look at these white papers, you do your research, and, you know, you start looking at consensus mechanisms, you know, algorithms, different types of proof of stake, proof of work models, you know, but the average person doesn't know what the heck any of that means. The average person, they know dollars, they know banking, they know their paychecks, you know, and you know, the traditional institutions, well, let's be real, they suck, okay? Because like, you know, when for me, like going to the bank, you know, when I was working a full-time job, I could never even get to the damn bank because every time I'd get off my job, they're closed.
It's closed.
I'm like, wait, so you have my money. You know that, right? That's my money in your bank, but I can't get it. You know what I'm saying? And I think like the whole beauty of crypto is that it is volatile, but it also kind of like provides that little bit of peace of mind where like, I'm like, you know what, this is mine. And I could wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and if I want to do a transaction, or if I want to do a trade, or if I want to purchase something even, I have that ability to do that. And I think that's a lot where that like Bitcoin maximalist stuff comes into play, where like, you know, so speaking of that, we saw Jack Dorsey from Twitter talking about how he thinks that Bitcoin is going to be a A world currency?
Oh, okay, so perfect. Actually, I'm glad that you brought this up. So these guys, I was literally listening to their flagship podcast that came out on Monday where they talk about like current news. They did research. They found out he is the owner of Twitter, right? Or like the CEO and of Square. I think it's Square put a very large investment into Lightning Labs. And so he has a very large incentive for Bitcoin to be the major currency because obviously that's what he's going for. And, you know, they had mentioned like that statement is going to make him money either way. Like even if he wasn't making money off that statement, if Bitcoin does end up that happens, then it'll benefit him. But yeah, so that whole there's like a little controversy around that he has a reason to say that.
I mean, look at all these regular traditional stocks, like for example Kodak. You know, just throwing in the word blockchain, and suddenly their stock goes up like 10%. Right? It's like it's crazy. And that's the thing too is a lot of people that are into cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are I would consider them to be the earlier stages, but blockchain technology is really what we're looking at moving forward. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, with over 1,500 cryptos, they're not all going to survive. And you know, you have two things on the channel, right? I'll make a video, I'll do some reviews, and you either get somebody that's like, why do you talk about the same projects all the time? Stop shilling. Or you get people that'll yell at you and they'll be like, why are you talking about 100 different coins every single day? I can't keep up with this. And it's like, well, guys, listen, I can't win either way. So from an objective point of view, I would like to discuss what's going on with the cryptos, but also from my perspective and my actual research, I'm sorry, but there are several cryptos that stand out to me as a lot more feasible, you know, working forward. So that's why I do, you know, everybody knows on my channel, you know, I like Neo. Recently, I've definitely been, you know, heavily interested in Ontology. They've been doing really well. I don't know if you've seen the charts lately.
I actually meant to ask you, so, because when we like did our quick thing yesterday where we kind of just made sure everything was working, you had mentioned Ontology and I was like, where have I heard that? And I realized I got an airdrop because I had Neo in the wallet, whatever, because it's an ICO. After looking into it, what's the difference between that and like Dragon Chain? Because they're both trying to create a way for non-blockchain based companies that have no experience with blockchain to implement blockchain without needing to know how to use it, correct?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a platform, but at the same time, Ontology is dealing with completely different issues. You know, Dragon Chain is trying to be more of like an incubator for up and coming projects. You know what I'm saying? And one of the cool things about Dragon Chain is they're trying to be US friendly. So Dragon Chain to me is more of a infrastructure. Well, so is Ontology, but okay. Oh my God, we're going down the rabbit hole here. It's hard because here's the thing. So for example, Dragon Chain to me is more similar to like an Ethereum or a Neo or a Cardano, in my opinion. Ontology, yes, they are also an infrastructure builder platform, but they are focusing on trust. They're focusing on touching the real world and bringing the real world into the digital world. So you're going to have your digital assets, you know, for example, but you're going to need that trust mechanism from the real world to the digital asset. So Ontology is dealing more with trust, identity verification, making sure that you can have an ID on the blockchain, but you have a choice of whether or not you want it to be public or private. So so it's
kind of like a little bit like Civic, it sounds like, too?
Yes, it's very similar to Civic, except the difference is that instead of competing with Civic, Civic is something that it could utilize. It could
that's good news.
Yes, it'll utilize Civic. Like all of these dApps, like the key, self key, bridge ID. I know there's another one. You know, they're all things that could work with Ontology. They're not trying to like compete with it. So it's honestly it's
much smarter to do it that way and have everybody try to make one big happy family and a team to help each other, because otherwise when you start getting into competition, that's not. We should all be working towards a common goal, not working against each other. I just feel like that working together makes more sense.
Yeah, a lot of these protocols are doing the exact same thing. Like 0x, you have Loopring. They're protocols. Like I remember a while ago, they were like, well, what's going to happen when Next comes out, the decentralized exchange for Neo or Switcheo? It's like, it's not going to affect the protocols. The protocols, they're going to work on second layer applications. That's fine. You know what I mean? So sometimes I do see videos or people comparing cryptos to each other, but they're not really competitors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see that a lot too. I also, it's funny because I just recently put up a Twitter poll today because I was trying to figure out what next week's video was going to be. And I try to do like, a project, a crypto 101 and a versus video. And I was looking up what I really wanted to do as versus, but I have a hard time finding like direct competitors in the space, at least ones that I'm interested enough to cover. But you're right. A lot of people do that. They try to kind of make rivalries out of something that aren't necessarily comparable.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that comes down to just not doing research. You know what I mean? Like, because it's really easy to just, and listen, I say the same thing to everybody, like everyone that's watching right now. I mean, we're talking, we're hanging out, but like, you and I, we're just people. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like these, I'm not, what do you call it? An expert by any means. I do the same research that anybody else does. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it looks like a lot of people are saying they think ETH is going to dump even more. I don't know.
I don't really know. I don't think so. I get this, to me, and I could be completely wrong. Obviously, this, disclaimer, nobody trade on my advice, but my perception is that we were seriously overly priced on everything for a long time. And everybody's hurting a little bit right now because the market dipped. It's going to take a while for things to get back into like a steamroller where we get, if you want to say back into like just a bull market, but I don't think ETH is going to just completely dump out to like 200. I doubt it. Well, and if it is, so be it. But I just don't get the sense that that's what's going to happen.
But the question is, it's not just so much of the ETH dumping, but like, I mean, I've spoken on my channel. Like, what do you think about these kind of conspiracies with these ICOs? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's over. What
do you mean in particular?
All right, well, there's over if you look at the charts right now, I mean, if you look at the go to CoinMarketCap, over 90% of the tokens are ERC20 based. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of ERC20 tokens. A lot of these had ICOs. So the fact is that you're funding these startups, you're sending them your Ethereum, which is the #2 cryptocurrency in the world, which has actual value to it. And then these companies are taking your Ethereum and they're giving you tokens, which you hope are going to be worth something. You hope that they're going to, triple or 10x. Mm-hmm. But the question is what are these ICOs doing with the Ethereum once they get it? I mean, for me, if you were just going to run something and you're just going to do a quick cash grab, not to say that all ICOs are cash grabs, but I mean, when you're making, 30 million, 100 million off an ICO, do you care what price you sell it at? You know what I mean? And then I do wonder, are these ICOs hurting the Ethereum space? Is that why we're seeing a lot of these decline? Are they cashing out? I mean, nobody knows. So
when I did it's funny because I guess I just didn't realize. I don't know if it was just ignorance or what. I knew that there was ICOs obviously on the Ethereum network because it's a platform. Very aware of that, but I guess I didn't realize exactly how many were promising to build a blockchain after, that they were just using Ethereum as the ICO platform and then they were going to create their own ecosystem. Because when I did the Icon video, I was like, they've got don't get me wrong, the project, I have Icon. I think the project is amazing if they can pull off what they say they're going to do, but to build a coin and sell it to people on a project that's not even what you're going to be running it on, and then say that you're going to do all of these amazing things within, an X amount of time. There's also concern that once they trade out of those and burn those tokens and move to the actual, ICX token, what's going to happen to ETH? The price is going to go down because there's going to be less transactions. There's not going to be as much liquidity and movements because all of these tokens are now moving off onto their own ecosystem. So that's another thing, I guess. But that's not happening right now, but it could happen in the future.
Yeah, I mean, we do know that the whole ERC20 standard is really simple. I mean, a lot of people, we could make...
I literally have a vanity token, Candor coin, on the Ethereum network.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very simple.
I was joking about making a KDub coin, but I couldn't figure out a good use case for it, so...
I just literally, I want to do a tip bot in my Discord, so you can just it's just little fun tokens to send back and forth. But right now, I'll send you the link after the video. It's these group of guys made a website. It's $25 to deploy the contract in the Ethereum network. You get to name it, and then you can just mint as many as you want with a MetaMask wallet.
Yeah, no, it's really easy to do. That's why one of the things, you're talking to the Neo guy, I can't lie. But one of the things about Neo is they have a really strict ICO process. So to be a Net5 token, you can't make Candor coin I mean, unless you have a substantial amount of gas, and you know what I mean. So in one sense, that's a good thing. But
it's expensive, isn't it, to deploy it on the network?
Yeah. Well, actually, gas price has went down, so it's not that expensive, but it is expensive, and they've been looking into that. But that comes into the whole, delegated Byzantine fault tolerance. That's all just governance and voting and stuff like that. So, a lot of people are asking about the whole Coinbase adding ERC20 tokens. So that's kind of on the same Ethereum standard. Yeah. I mean, as far as that goes, I think that's pure speculation.
But that's what they said. I mean, there was a formal release about it, right? Like they confirmed that they're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, they tweeted it. They had a post about it. But I mean, look at what happened with the whole Bitcoin Cash thing. They told everyone we're going to release it in January. Then there was that whole, they thought there was the insider information. You started seeing people buying right before. Then it got listed on GDAX before it even got listed on Coinbase. The price shot all the way up to $9,000, which is absolutely
insane,
absurd. And then they added it to Coinbase, and then they shut it down. And they were like, no. So I hope that moving forward, they're a little more transparent about the things that they're going to be listing. Some tokens that I thought about, I had thought about maybe like Basic Attention Token or like Omisego. But then again, you are seeing things like, Omisego and Walton, they're going to be moving to their own chains, like you said, as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to take less strain off the Ethereum network, but it's also going to have less transactions. So,
it's definitely going to be interesting. And like I had mentioned to you before, because we were briefly talking about this, that it's going to be, I mean, we just said how many ERC20 tokens there are. And there's a lot of really solid projects on the Ethereum blockchain right now. So trying to guess what Coinbase is going to list is going to be impossible. There's no way.
Yeah. I see there being a lot of speculation in the future. I can just see, I don't know, for the next couple months, I just see one day an ERC20 token just pumping and dumping, and then the next day a different one. I just feel there's going to be so much speculation. People are going to be hopping coins. It's do what you want, guys. I'd rather just get involved and just kind of hodl. So
no, I'm right there with you.
All right. So a lot of people, the thing is you are in my opinion, the Cardano kind of spokesperson. So
Cardano and Ethereum, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted a little more insight. I mean, for me, when Cardano had come out, I told you this the other, I think when we spoke previously, Cardano came out at a very, very high market cap, in my opinion. And I do watch the charts every day. And for me, when a coin just instantly comes out at a $500, $600 million valuation, I kind of take a step back and go, wait, why is this coin so high? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it turns out that Cardano, they actually they did a private sale. They didn't do a public sale.
I actually didn't even know that.
I didn't either. So what happened was the coin came out. I'm hearing about Cardano. I'm doing my research. I'm sitting here trying to figure it out. Next thing you know, I look at the charts. It's number 5. And I'm like, what did I miss?
Oh, you know what happened? That's really funny that you mentioned that. So it literally went to number 5 while I was interviewing Hoskinson. It happened in the video, during the video.
So was your interview. You did it.
It must have been.
Pushed
Clearly,
it. You pushed them to number 5.
My 6,000
or whatever they. I know right now they might. I don't know what they are right now. I have a chart in front of me, but yeah.
I don't know either.
Yeah, Cardano's one of those projects that you really look at it, and you have a bunch of developers that have had the opportunity to look at a lot of loopholes. You know what I mean? You have guys that came from Ethereum, and Charles Hoskinson. He's one of the most passionate guys in the whole space. I mean, seriously,
He's overwhelmingly intelligent. The video with him, I just was blown away, because it's not just it's not ego. It's not just I want to do the best. I want to make the best project. I want to beat everybody else. It's he genuinely wants to improve the world and change the world. And that's the most intimidating thing about him is he wakes up every morning. He's yeah, I'm going to do something that's going to change the world. I can't function until I have coffee. I don't understand people that have such amazing, far-reaching goals.
Yeah. But, the thing is, a lot of people were saying with the whole scholars thing, it's going to take kind of long to implement stuff. But I think that...
I'd rather it take long.
Well, that's exactly how I feel. And I think a lot of people are impatient. But the truth is do you really want to invest in a project where they're more concerned with pushing it out as fast as they can? They're not doing their due diligence on any of the code. And then what happens? Well, you're going to release a buggy code, and now you have all these dApps that have issues,
And that's the thing. We've seen, and I'm probably going to get yelled at immediately after I say this, but we've seen issues with why am I blanking? The one that's not Nano, the other one, IOTA. We've seen issues with IOTA where they wrote all their own code and they did all this stuff, and they had people say, hey, you have X, Y, and Z problems. instead of spending time, you know, going through it or using stuff that was pre-existing and not putting themselves at risk. Yeah, Cardano is going to take a long time, and it could be a lot longer than people are willing to wait. But in this space, you really have one shot, because once you screw it up, you ruin your reputation. I mean, don't get me wrong, IOTA is a very cool project, and there's a lot of people that are like IOTA till they die. But it's also a controversial project. Like, you either hate it or you love it. And I don't think that to be successful, like seriously successful the way Cardano wants to be, I don't think that they can have the kind of controversy that other projects have had. They have to come out, they have to get it right out of the gate, and they have to do everything that they've said they're going to do, even if it takes forever. But I'd rather put my money on something that is going through research and getting peer reviewed.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, you know, IOTA is very different with the Tangle. It's something that we haven't really seen. It's even newer than, you know, the old school way of doing it with the blockchain and everything else. But, you know, the thing that people don't really want to admit, I know that everything in here is about making money. It's about getting as rich as you possibly can. But when you look at something like Bitcoin, which I know nobody wants to buy Bitcoin because you're not going to make 10x, you know, Lambo gains, but it's the most secure blockchain there is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like people tend to forget about all these guys, these miners, these millions of dollars that are being invested into ASIC mining operations to secure the network. You know, whereas IOTA Tangle, yes, you do have the fact that if I send a transaction, then I verify the 2 transactions before me. Sure, I'm not going to say that's not, you know, innovative. But, you know, we've seen similar things with Nano, with the block lattice. You know what I mean? So Nano, essentially, it's the perfect coin. It's everything we could have ever dreamed of, right? But what about that security? You know, what about the incentive? That's the thing that I say. I mean, what happens, you know, in the background? You know, these miners, people say proof of work, it's a waste of space. It's garbage. It wastes electricity. It wastes energy. True, but you can also verify and validate that coin. You know, you have something behind it. You have a proof of something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you, and I also disagree with you. Only in the sense that I think that proof of work will always exist. Bitcoin is always going to exist. At a certain point, once cryptocurrency gets more mass adopted, once people are used to hearing about it, once people, you know, the words feel less foreign for them to say and it's less intimidating to even think about, I do think that proof of stake or delegated proof of stake coins will probably be what's going to be the most held in the future long term. Only because as far as, unless you have, like, I have solar panels on my house, so in theory, if I wanted to mine, it probably wouldn't be that bad. But for most people who want to get involved and be part of, like, the community and you know, help stabilize the network, proof of stake, you can do that in an easier manner than you can with proof of work. But again, it's the first. It's got first mover advantage. It's the cryptocurrency that everybody knows. I just am curious, you know, what the consensus is going to be like environmentally, what people are going to think in 5 years, what they really want.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think a lot of the things that the people have the concern about, I guess proof of stake is kind of just like proof of stake. But once you start getting involved, you know, you have delegated proof of stake and things of that nature, people start to wonder, are you giving too much power to the guys that already have the power? Or already have the coins, already have the money? I mean, we've seen this issue with Steemit. You know, you get these big whales that come in. They have so much Steem power. They'll upvote you. They'll downvote you. And, you know, people don't consider that to necessarily be a fair distribution of, you know, influence. So, a Crypto Bud just went live. Damn it, Crypto Bud, I'm trying to go live right now. Why are you going live when I'm going live?
Our jam. Somebody just asked me if I think Hashgraph will be the disruptor. I don't really know. To be honest with you, I don't have an answer for that. But they highlighted my name, so I figured I'd mention it.
You know, I feel really, really bad. I have not done enough research on Hashgraph myself, but I've heard it could be a huge disruptor. But I just, guys, there's like so many things. You know, you wake up every day. You know, every day I wake up, I do not know what I'm going to get into. Every day in crypto for me is like a brand new day. I don't know.
I was thinking about that today. Because I used to be on the Reddit Slack all the time, and they are amazing as far as the community goes. Like, they are always up to date. They have so much information. They're always pumping news. And I was reading through it, and I'm like, God, like, there's so much stuff. Like, there's just so much between news, projects coming out, drama, you know, ICOs on a different platform. This guy said that, like the thing with Twitter today and Bitcoin. It's just like, I can't keep up. In order for me to run this channel, and make like a weekly video, which is like the bare minimum, I just don't have time to stay up to date on all of it. Like, I need I don't know, like screens to follow me around to just feed me information all day.
No, I hear you, man. That's why I used to rock the headphones at my job. I would just listen to crypto all day because you know what I'm saying. You miss 10 hours and the market could totally change. So it's definitely crazy.
It's unbelievable.
Guys, what's going on in the chat? We're trying to do a fun live stream today. I'm waiting for some people to ask some good questions. Not that you guys aren't asking good questions. Neurochain.
Is everybody being sad about the market?
Yeah, I think we're all pretty sad about the market. But you know what, though? Screw it, right? I'm here making a video, so, you know, life's not that bad.
No, it's not.
The other thing, too, is, man, the ICOs are getting out of control. Like, the thing is I actually did a poll the other day on my channel. I was interested in what most people were interested in. And they said that coin reviews and news were their most interest, and then their least interests were interviews and ICOs. But at the same time, I also get berated with ICO requests. So
yeah,
like,
actually, I meant to say something. I was snooping around on your videos, like reading comments, because I just like to see what people say. Because I like your videos, so I want to see what like people's opinions are.
Sure.
Have you noticed an increase in like shilling that's supposed to be like they're trying to pretend it's not, like Deep Onion? Did you just get slammed with requests for Deep Onion?
The Deep Onion community, they're a very, very, very tight-knit community, and as you grow on your channel, you're gonna get like 5 to 10 Deep Onion.
It's unbelievable. I like tweeted about it. I'm like, please, I'm not gonna cover Deep Onion. Everybody stop asking me to cover Deep Onion.
I actually did cover Deep Onion. It's a good privacy coin. Yeah, it's a privacy coin. It's pretty cool. They utilize the Tor network. I mean, you know, on my channel, I don't talk too much about privacy coins, but it's not because I don't like them. They're fine. I just personally don't really have a use case for them. Like me, I don't really care. I don't care if the government knows that I'm spending. You know, I don't mind paying my taxes. That's never bothered me. But you know, for some people, they might want that privacy. You know, I don't know. I mean, especially people in, you know, I'm in the U.S., so for me, it's whatever. But there are all these other countries that these governments, you know, they have very strict regulations. They have the firewalls set up. And maybe for these people, they actually do need to utilize these privacy coins. So I'm not going to take anything away from that, you know?
Yeah, I actually had the same view as you did. And then I think I had, like, this was months and months ago. I had said something like that along the lines on Twitter. And somebody said, you know, like, I live in a country, or I have friends and family that live in a country in which like their wealth is not safe, and like people are corrupt and always trying to steal things from them, and privacy coins are the future because it's what's most stable for them. And I realized that, yeah, we are in the US, so obviously our kind of what we can work with is different. But because Bitcoin is so popular, and because it, you know, originated, people thought it was anonymous when it started. Obviously, that we know now that's not the case.
No.
But I think that there's going to be a couple, like, you know, niches that get burrowed out. And I think privacy is one of those that is going to have a serious following of people. And Monero is well known, but I think there's going to be other ones that are going to probably start to take on a little bit of a life of their own. I just assumed that Deep Onion wasn't a real coin, that it was just people shilling like some crazy ICO today.
Yeah, no, I agree. Man, I'm getting a lot of coin questions over here. People are asking about...
Shoot.
Well, there's Nebulous, Banyan Network, Trinity. There's so many questions over here.
Yeah, I got a Trinity over here too. I don't know. Nebulous and Neblio two different projects?
Yeah, they're totally different. Yeah.
That was a horrible marketing idea.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. There are a few coins that come out that I'm like, why the heck did you pick that name? You know what I mean? Like, but then again, why?
To be honest, Nano's rebranding. Yeah, Rayblock sucked as a name, but at least everybody knew what it was. Nano's like way too ambiguous of a term. You Google it, it's not intuitive. You're not gonna just find it.
Yo, not that I'm gonna like shill Doug Polk over here because whatever, he's a huge YouTuber, but like he even said himself, he was like, we totally had the Rayblocks keyword on lock, man. Everyone was coming to my video, and then he changed it to Nano, and it was like Nano. You have the Ledger Nano S. You have like nano bots. You have so many things with the word nano. So yeah, I do agree. But then again, I don't know, Neo. You know, when they first, you know, actually, this is a little known fact. A lot of people don't actually mention this, but do you know that when Neo did their initial rebrand, they actually went down in price after that? Because a lot of people, yeah, no, it was Ant shares, and then it went to Neo, and a lot of people were like, oh, Neo from the Matrix, and it actually took a dip for a couple days before it went back up.
Well, I had Ant shares, and then I sold it, so I don't
No, why'd you sell your Ant shares? You're crazy.
Because I mean, I like really didn't know anything about it, and I was just kind of like buying stuff. Everybody's like, oh, Chinese Ethereum. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna buy this, and then I just
Hey, if it makes you feel better, when I first got into it, I sold 45 Ant shares, which today is 45 Neo, and I bought that to buy into Chaincoin. So if anybody knows about that coin,
I don't know anything about Chaincoin.
There's not much to know about it, except it was the greatest pump and dump of all time, and I found myself front and center. And I always say to myself, like, when people are like, "Oh my God, these crypto markets suck," it's like, guys, if you were me and you had lost like 75% of your investment last year, and I'm still doing it,
yeah,
you can still do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so let's see what's going on over here.
Somebody asked me, did you use any crypto to buy a car? I think you overestimate the amount that I've made in crypto. The answer would be no. I actually have not formally cashed out of any of my crypto. I've sold crypto to crypto, but I have not gone from a crypto to USD yet, not once.
Ironically, I've actually sold my car since I got involved in crypto.
Did you use it to buy more crypto?
No, I didn't actually. I used it to eat. But no, I'm just joking. I'm just messing with you. But no, it was kind of at the point where like I left my day job and I just started doing this full time. Now, people think I'm over here. I'm like the farthest person from a millionaire. People think like I'm a shiller. I get paid. Guys,
yeah.
I wish, okay? Trust me.
Same.
I make my money from the same types of trades, from the same type of projects. So people are saying, how'd you make your money this week? Slammed it into Ontology. Ontology's up. What are you, shilling, bro? No, I'm just paying attention to the market. I'm looking at what's going on. And
you're also being honest. It's like, God forbid you say, okay, like this is actually how I made money on a trade. It's like, you're shilling. No, that's literally how I made money this week. You asked me, I'm telling you, I'm not shilling.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for Ontology, I would be hard. I don't know. For me, it is a game. It's tough, but I like to play the game for the long run. And, I had a couple people on my chat earlier. I didn't get around to it. They said that they don't see crypto going to a $1 trillion market cap. But the thing is guys, the G20 literally brushed it off. Like, crypto was going to be discussed, and they were like, you know what, it's too small. It doesn't affect the global financial infrastructure enough for us to even talk about it. So for everyone that says, oh, it's too late, it's like, are you kidding me? Gold has been the standard for 5,000 years. Crypto's been around for 10 years.
Yes.
A decade.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, these kind of changes, they don't happen overnight. So.
No. And that's what I always have to like try to remind myself, like, okay, so Bitcoin came out in 2008 and I got into crypto a year and a half ago. Like, everybody's like, oh, I wish I got into Bitcoin when it was X amount of dollars. Like, everybody's such an early adopter. No, we're all early adopters. Like, in the long run, this is going to be peanuts in a couple of years. I genuinely think, like, there's no way what this crypto has become can ever just dial back and go away. Like, it's not happening. It's way too big. There's way too much going on now for it to be any less important. I genuinely just think that it's going to grow. Yeah,
I mean, there's literally a site, Bitcoin Obituaries, and you can see how many. It's like 99bitcoins.com/obituaries or something like that. And what they do is they actually publish every single article anytime anyone ever says Bitcoin is dead. And Bitcoin has officially died. At this point, it's probably more, but last time I checked, it was over 220 times. So, like, guys, you're not gonna kill the market. Like, anyone that thinks that you're gonna kill crypto, you're not gonna kill crypto. I mean, I even tell people, like, take Bitcoin. Even if you were to do a 51% attack, take down the network. Number one, you would use so much resources, you would lose so much money. Mm-hmm. And then in the end, some kid down the road would just end up mining on his computer anyway, and then Bitcoin would just start back up again. So I don't see how you can kill crypto. Crypto is Pandora's box. People are way too focused on the dollar amount, and they're not focused on the future. Amazon was a bookstore. They were a digital bookstore. They sold books. That's what they did.
Also, now, Apple almost went out of business before they made the iPhone. They were like nearly bankrupt. So
yeah, Steve Jobs lost his job.
Yeah.
Like, they literally, like, were like, no. And then they hired him back. Like, wait, hold on. We need to rethink this.
Yeah, they made the iPhone. They're like, oh, okay, now we're going to change the world. But before that, it was like, Apple what?
Oh, thank you. Everybody's saying that they really enjoy this chat. That's awesome, guys.
Oh,
thank you.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no,
we're just, you know, I mean, this would, if I was not live streaming and we were talking, this would be the same conversation we'd be having.
That's what I said. I said, you know what? We're just gonna we're not gonna have a script, and we're just gonna go. I think that's
honestly,
fun.
It's so refreshing because I just like with all of the stuff that I'm always reading and the work that I'm doing, I'm like, I want to do a video and just do something that's like I can just like not have to worry about prepping. I just want to make a video. Alex, ask Crypto Zombie about Pivx. Do you know anything about Pivx?
Oh, it's been a while. Not gonna lie, I was heavily looking into Pivx, probably more into last summer. I heard people calling it the Purple Prince, the Purple Princess, whatever. Yeah, it's a really good privacy coin. They have a lot of different features. I don't know, it's a privacy coin. You know what I mean?
I have a bunch of it. I actually, I was supposed to work with the Pivx team to do marketing or do like videos, like just kind of like little segments just to work with them because I enjoy their team. They're probably like the nicest community you can just like pop into. They're super friendly. But I like the project and I like the fact that it was privacy, but also had a transparent option. And I kind of just got involved because of the community, but they're asking, I think, because they know that I love Pivx, like Pivx and Lisk, and Cardano and Block. Like those are all like the ones that everybody knows that I'm very pro. So they're probably just asking because they want your opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel really bad. You know, I haven't looked at it, and I don't want to say anything that, you know, the last time I looked at it, you know how much changes in the crypto space. Like, literally, the last time I heavily looked into Pivx was probably August, September. Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
it was a while ago. So, I mean, Pivx, now, are they a fork off of Dash? Is that what they are?
Yes.
Yeah, they are, right? So they utilize some of those privacy features, but like you said, they do offer that transparency option, which is really cool because that, you know, now you're getting back into my camp of things with the whole ontology thing. But I don't want to talk about ontology. Let's talk about Pivx, put it back in your court. But I do agree that it's nice to have that ability to have privacy. What's a coin that's, Enigma. Do you know about Enigma, for example?
You know, they reached out. I think it was Enigma. Somebody had asked me if I wanted to like do a review or do an interview of them, and I actually turned them down and said no because there was, I don't even remember what it was that I found out, but there seemed to be a lot of like sketchy drama, something about the way the project started, and I was worried because I was a new channel. I was like, I'm not going to go anywhere near that.
Some of these projects do have rough starts, especially with phishing links and stuff like that. Like, forget it. Like, one hacker gets into the Telegram group or gets into the email system somehow, gets a phishing link, people send it to the wrong address, and things get completely messed up. I agree with that. But, like, the whole thing with Enigma and Pivx is that I like the fact that you can verify that you've received it. Like, okay, for example, say you're like you have a job, you're a school teacher, or, you know, you're a nurse, or whatever your job is, and you want to prove that you've been paid, but you don't want to like release your salary, right?
Yeah.
So those are good things. You can prove that a transaction happened, but then you don't have to disclose the actual amount. So I think those are really good privacy features moving forward.
Cool.
Actually, somebody on my channel asked you specifically, and they know your name. So by the way, Alex, how's it going, Alex? Because that's your name. Do you think Lisk will pump when they release Core 1.0? Is that?
I think that's a hard prediction to make because of the situation with the market right now. I think everything is kind of just hanging on for dear life. I don't know if the release of that is going to be enough for the price to pump. I think if the sentiment of the market changes and we see kind of like a crypto-wide improvement, even if it's just a minor improvement, then yes, it could probably make an impact. Right now, I think everybody's just hurting a little too much to really. I mean, we have to remember, like, the price goes up because people are buying. The price goes down because people are selling. It's not like a magical number that's just like going about and doing its own thing and has a life of its own. It's based on sales and purchases. So nobody's buying right now. I don't think that people are going to buy Lisk just because of that. Lisk is something I wish I held more of, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'll be completely transparent. I did hold a lot of Lisk back in the day. I really did. I'm not going to lie. And I did sell my Lisk. I did. But, you know, the thing is when do you buy, when do you sell? You don't know. You know what I mean? Like, the only coin I have never, ever, ever, ever sold is Neo. Why? I don't know. I'm stupid. I should have sold at 180. I didn't. I held it. Why? I don't know. You know? All my other coins, you know, it depends. I got to see what's going on. But for some reason,
Ethereum is mine, so I get it. It's an emotional attachment to an inanimate object. I get it.
Which is bad. Which we shouldn't be telling people to do. You shouldn't have emotional attachment to a coin.
Don't do what we're doing.
No,
don't
hold coins out of emotional attachment. But I can't lie. You know, Neo for me was my first. It was my baby. You know, it was the first project that I actually sat down, researched, did my due diligence, bought pretty much everything I had. I put my life savings into it, which I do not recommend. And I got lucky, I guess. I don't know. Did I get lucky? I did research, but I guess I got lucky. So it is tough. It is tough. Yeah, everybody, whatever. Neo's my wife. I get it, guys. They're all going to just make fun of me, whatever.
No, and that's what I am about ETH. To me, it's like, I know that, you know, one of those Ethereum or 1.5 of those Ethereum that I'm holding out of however many I have, that somewhere in that mix it was $17.50 or whatever for it, and I just can't rationalize spending it. Like, even though it was up to like $1,100, and I was talking to people about it, they're like, you should sell. No, absolutely not. Totally rational, made no sense. Absolutely should have sold. That was unbelievable, but I didn't. The biggest thing is just dollar cost averaging, man. I mean, I learned my lesson the hard way. You know, you FOMO into a coin, you put your whole thing into it, and it's done. Yeah. You know who actually kind of got me into the whole concept of dollar cost averaging? I don't know if you've ever seen Peter Saddington. He used to have bite-sized Bitcoin. Now he does decentralized TV. He was a very, very early investor in Bitcoin. Yeah, I think I've heard of him.
So he, he's a proponent of dollar cost averaging, and he's been dollar cost averaging several projects. He did Litecoin last year. He's been dollar cost averaging Icon, and I think he was doing IOTA as well. So one of the things that he taught me was that people have to stop looking at it as, if I buy now, you know, and it's too high, and then the price dips, that I have to sell. You can dollar cost average backwards. You know, like in a perfect world, let's say everything just goes up. So you buy at $2, you buy at $4, you buy at $6, you buy at $8. Yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, that's no different than buying at $8 and $6 and $4 and $2. It's the same exact.
It's psychological.
Exactly. So, you know, for me right now, like, Neo is really low. And I've actually been scooping up some extra Neo on the side right now because I realized the dollar. Now, it's crazy. Like, I was like, oh, you're really buying more Neo? Yeah, I am. Because for me, right now, Ethereum, what is it, 4 something? 4?
Yeah, it's like 4. It was 460, I think, the last time I checked, earlier today.
When's the last time we saw prices like that? October? Like, or maybe before that? Probably. Yeah, I mean, it's like, so, I don't know. That's all I could say to people that are trying to really just make their money go the farthest. I know that, you know, everybody gets their paycheck and they're just like, boom, slamming it in.
Well, if it's any consolation, I mean, I bought, when the market dipped like 2 weeks ago, I bought more ADA and I bought more Neo. Even at, it was like, you know, $70 or something like that. But I was like, you know what? I saw the price it went up to and I regretted it. And it's one of those coins to me that I love staking stuff. And I love that you can hold it on the ledger. That's like a huge incentive for me. Stuff that, you know, has derivatives, stuff that can be held on a ledger, stuff that can be the most secure coins, like that I can put away. Those are the things I want to invest in. Because for me, peace of mind is very important. So I have my ledger and I keep it in a little safe, and my Neo's all tucked away with all my other Ethereum and everything else. And for me, that's a big component of what I buy. So like ERC20 tokens, sure, because that can go on the ledger. But like other stuff that I know I can't, if I have to leave it on an exchange, I'm almost certainly not buying it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Although I am partially, I do that sometimes, but don't follow me, guys. There's certain coins like
there's some stuff that I will that I don't care about. Like some, if I get like
yeah. You have to leave some coins on exchanges because it's just certain coins are long term and certain coins are flips, and you know, you guys know that. So yeah. But I'm very transparent. You know, obviously I'm a long term hodler. I've had a lot of really bad bags that I've scooped up from a while ago. You know, when I first got in, I FOMO'd into Golem, Stratus.
I had Stratus for a little while. I got out of that.
I bought Dogecoin back in the day. I have Doge.
And I bought it. It was like insanely cheap at the time. I don't care. To me, it's like having a $2 bill. For those of you that are not in the U.S., it's just like basically, it's like a little commodity. It's like something silly. It's a trophy, basically.
It's a novelty.
I have, novelty. That's the word I'm looking for. I have, I think it's like 480 Doge, and I literally keep it on the exchange because whatever. But I love it. I have a Doge t-shirt. I did a video in the shirt the other day, and everybody was commenting like, oh my God, she's in a Doge t-shirt. Like, save us. Like, she obviously doesn't know what she's talking about, blah, 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 blah. But whatever.
Nah, Doge is fun. It's the original tipping coin. I thought I was a genius back in the day because at the time it was like less than a penny. And I was like, you know, if I have like 1 million Doge and they go to $1, I'm like a millionaire, right? Not understanding exactly like the fact that what is Doge? They print like thousands of Doge or mine thousands of Doge daily. So it's like, yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, no, that we were talking about that the other day. I'm like, you know, one of the things that I'm grateful that I learned about the most is understanding market cap related to price. So, you know, okay, so yes, maybe something is 30 cents, but based on the circulation and the market cap and everything else, like, it may not reach the levels you're expecting it to. It may just not be feasible, and that's something that people forget.
Yeah, one of the things that's going on, people are asking. I've seen this come up several times. I've held it off, but they were concerned about. We were just discussing supply, you know, circulating supply, total supply versus market cap. I mean, what's your opinion on this? I hear a lot of people saying that, oh, you know, for example, Ripple, or Ripple, we're talking about it, but there's too much. Or even Ontology, there's 1 billion coins. Do you think that the circulating or the total supply has anything to do with market cap? Do you see a correlation between the two?
I mean, to be quite frank, I haven't put enough thought into it. I do know that there's like very clear-cut views on people thinking that market cap is useful to crypto or not useful. And I can see both arguments. Like, okay, yes, so crypto is something entirely new that we're dealing with that we have no benchmarker for. So market cap may not necessarily really mean anything because we don't actually know what the potential is for all of these coins. But I also think that market cap to some degree is a good benchmarker against other crypto. So like crypto to crypto, it's useful, but as a mass compared to like the US dollar compared to something else, I don't think it's a great way to gauge long term because again, there's nothing to compare it to. You know, like we don't have something similar.
But I mean, see, here's the thing for me is the way that I always look at it is I'm just more realistic about it. Unless you're already in the space and you're paying with cryptos, you're paying with Bitcoin or whatever, Litecoin, Ethereum, whatever. If you're coming in with fresh cash, cash is cash. Dollars are dollars. So if you have a circulating supply of 1 billion coins or you have a circulating supply of 10 million coins. Now, a lower cap is definitely going to increase the volatility in the prices because there's less coins in circulation. But essentially, the same amount of money buys the same amount overall. Like, if you have $100 and you put $100 in, if you're buying a coin that, you know, is, you know, $10 for 10, you're going to, you know what I'm saying, versus you get 1 billion, it doesn't really matter in my opinion because the same amount of dollars are going into that cap.
Yeah, and I think that's the other argument too. Is it's like you said, we're using something that has a definitive value, which is the U.S. dollar, to buy something. So regardless of what the quantity is that you're getting, you're still putting the same amount of U.S. dollars in it. And that's actually funny because I've never really thought of it that way, but that's a really good point.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much money to go around. So regardless of how many coins there are, the money that goes into it, you know, what's the difference if a coin has a circulating supply of 21 or 100 million? If I put $100 in, okay, I only get 10 of these coins. But percentage-wise, it's the same percentage as if I had bought $100 of another coin. Percentage-wise. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to, like, say? So that's why
I get it completely.
Yeah. So for me, I don't get too crazy. I don't get too hung up on circulating.
I don't look at it. The only time I look at it is when I think the project's really good and the price is very low. And that's when I'm like, well, why? And I investigate at that point. But that's also an argument why I'm going to probably get flamed for this, why I dislike Ripple. And in the same light, I'm kind of a hypocrite because I like Stellar, but it has the same total circulating supply, you know, so, but to me, Ripple is like one of those things that's so divisive because of the fact that people have all these high-reaching goals for it, but we have to remember that, yes, the amount that's going to be out there that's going to be circulating is so high. It's also not required for, you know, for Ripple Labs to actually work. So there's those arguments where people get upset about the circulating supply and the price and the market cap, but it's also like another argument that they're upset about the fact that like people view the coin negatively or whatever. So there's a lot of opinions that go into it, I think.
Yeah. there's so much speculation about everything, and I mean even on the topic of Ripple, if we're just gonna talk about it, you know, I don't think that a lot of people understand that. Like, yeah, they're like, oh, it's a bank coin and this and that, but like they do understand that like Ripple and like the XRP, they're not the same. Like banks can utilize Ripple technology and they don't have to utilize the token.
Yeah, you should see. I got like not very happy comments on my video when I did Ripple versus Stellar, and I thought I was pretty unbiased and I tried to be very like neutral about it, but people are like adamant about not telling the truth about the coin. Like out of the 3 techs or the 3 platforms that Ripple Labs offers banks, only one of which is required to use XRP, and only about, I think it's 5 or somewhere in the range of 5 or 10 banks are actively using XRP, and the others are just using the other platforms that are utilizing Ripple Labs tech, not the crypto, not their native crypto. So I mean, and the problem with that too is like, why is a bank going to use something to transact that's volatile? That gives them no insurance as far as payment processing goes. So to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Stellar makes sense because it's, you know, peer-to-peer, person-to-person. They want to do transactions for individuals, not for banks. So that doesn't really, the price doesn't really affect it that much. And on top of it, lumens are required for the Stellar network. So like that to me is just a huge difference. XRP is not required. Lumens are required. That's like the end game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the utility of the, you know, if Neo didn't have gas, what would be the point? You know what I mean? If you didn't have something running the network, what would be the point? But the other thing that I really like about Stellar too is I like how they're doing that thing where like you could send someone lumens and then they could receive Litecoin, or they could receive, they're trying to do that, I don't know what their term for it is, but essentially you can utilize the Stellar platform to basically exchange whatever you want.
It's a bridge.
Yeah, it's a bridge, exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of like what, like, you know, Arc and other guys. I mean, interoperability is huge. Not that Stellar's trying to necessarily tackle that, but I do think that moving forward, as we do see these ICOs coming out from Stellar, I don't know. I think Stellar is going to have a really great year in a way that I almost feel ashamed that I didn't cover it as much as I should have. I felt like I kind of ignored it.
I was debating because I did this Stellar versus Ripple video. I'm debating still maybe just covering Stellar individually for the sole purpose of just learning for myself. Like, I have lumens, and I told you before the only ICO that I participated in was Kin. And as far as I know, last time I checked, I believe that Kin is actually moving to the Stellar network. And they are an ERC20 token, but they're going to be moving to Stellar. And that interests me that they're going to be doing that enough that I want to figure out why, like what's the incentive. So I agree with you. I feel sort of like, oh, that's one of those coins that I should probably know more about, but considering I also have it, but yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, Kin is actually one of the first blockchains to utilize 2 tokens on 2 different networks, actually. They're going to have a way for, if you want to transfer it to Ethereum, you can actually lock it up on Stellar, and then you can transfer your difference over to Ethereum. So they're actually, so it's like interoperability, but like between 2 blockchains. So, but yeah, no, they're the first to do that. So that's an innovation in the space as is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I had no idea. Good to know. The more you know. Somebody asked me, how did I get involved in an ICO? Are you an accredited investor? No, and Kin didn't require to be an accredited investor. Not sure why. I don't remember. I just know that I submitted like KYC requirements, like my license and like proof of documentation and all that stuff. But
yeah, there's a few of them you can get in. I'm trying to think of which ones. There was one that I did. It was eHarvest Hub. They were allowing people in. And you spoke earlier about Dragon Chain. I know Dragon Chain is totally geared toward U.S. investors. So anything that comes out on that, you're good to go.
Well, they should. I mean, you would think that some of these projects would want to do that because the U.S. is such like an sounds ridiculous to say, underserved demographic within the ICO community, right? Because we don't get to do or participate in a lot of stuff. So I feel like if like a good project is actually available to the U.S., people would really jump on it. That to me is like kind of like an untapped resource, but it's probably harder than just that.
I agree, which is weird because if you look at the, I saw a chart the other day that was talking about different countries, and I think the U.S. Accounts for over 30%, at least a third, of crypto. The U.S. alone is like 33% of crypto, and yet we can't buy ICOs, which is hilarious. Yeah. like you know what I mean? So I don't know. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
What is going on over here? Yeah, we talked about XLM. We talked about Walton Chain. Walton Chain versus VeChain. I don't think they're not competition to me. What do you think? I mean,
I don't. Okay, so I don't know enough about two directly. I just know that they're both trying to do like, what's the word for it? Not fulfillment, not order fulfillment, but like.
They're doing like supply chain logistics, essentially.
Thank you. Supply chain. That's the word I'm looking for. That's the second time now you saved me.
It's okay.
I had Walton and I moved away from it because I didn't like the fact that there didn't seem to be a lot of talk from the team. And then more recently with like their Twitter giveaway where they accidentally like didn't log out of their own personal account and said like, oh my God, so thank you, I won. I can't believe I won. And it ended up being the Walton Chain account and all this other stuff, and then like not really taking responsibility for whatever else. I was unimpressed by that.
Yeah.
So if they are competitors, I don't know. If they are, I do think that it's going to be better for VeChain because Walton kind of tarnished their look a little bit.
It's unfortunate. I mean, that's the speed of the internet. You know what I mean? Back in the day, you know, when we used to have to ride on horse, taking our you know, letters to across the cities, whatever.
Yep.
Now it's like you make a tweet, like 100,000 people see it, forget it. So I do agree. You know, Walton, they are tackling more of the RFID though. They're trying to utilize like a better, like for example, like a better shopping experience. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, so you know, you'll go into a room, you'll try something on. The size is too big. You'll put it back. You'll try on a different size. You'll put it back. You'll try on a different color. And then they'll kind of take that information and figure out what type of shopping experience you would prefer. They'll help to better. Well, first of all, it's going to help the actual suppliers themselves, and it's going to also help the customer instead of getting like. Have you ever been online and you're looking at something and you know all of a sudden you're looking at a different page and then an advertisement comes up and it's the exact same thing you were just looking at?
Yeah.
So I think like Walton is trying to like make that a better experience.
But in real life.
Right. But VeChain is just on a tear lately. They are touching everything from fraud, you know, like handbags. For example, wine. You know, people try to say, oh, this wine bottle is 140 years old, but realistically it was made last year in California. You know? Yeah,
see, that to me, I think that there is a huge market for that. Truth in, you know, destination, like where something came from, who made it, who touched it, what companies it went through, you know. Speaking from like a nutritional standpoint, because I don't know if some of you know, but I'm actually a dietitian by trade, and people in my field, what I experience, people are obsessed with where the food come from, you know, what farms, whatever, is it organic, you know, what kind of pesticides do they use? Like people are really, that's something that's becoming like at the forefront as far as like personal nutrition concerns. So being able to identify like, okay, this camera that I bought came from this company, so that you can say like no sweatshops were involved, like everybody was paid appropriately and everybody, you know, has their have a job and they have contracts and everything else. So being able to prove that stuff. Also, I forget, I think there was a project that I recently looked into that wanted to do that as well, as far as like contracting and making sure that like employers were fulfilling what they promised to do to their employees in like low income countries and things like that. But I can't remember what it was now.
Yeah, there's a few of them that are tackling that. And I have to say, I am one of those weirdos that does like to know where my food comes from. No,
there's nothing wrong with being. Yeah. That's not weird at all. In this day and age, it's good to know.
Yeah, I don't really go into my nutrition on my channel. It's a crypto channel. I don't really feel the need to discuss what I eat for breakfast. But yeah, I mean, I have switched to you know, organic diet. I shop at a local you know, farmer's place down the road from me. You know, this is off topic, but I had a lot of health issues back in the day. I was 50 pounds overweight. You know, I had acid reflux. I was on all these kinds of pills. So, yeah, you know, for me, I just decided to take the switch, you know, started going organic. I wanted to know where my food was coming from. I wanted to get rid of all the GMOs and all, you know, the garbage and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting to see these companies, how they're actually providing the opportunity for you to actually be able to trace it. You know, because if somebody slaps an organic sticker on a package, I mean, do you know? Like, do you really know?
No, I mean, if they find out, they're going to get in a ton of trouble, but who's really going to look into it? That's really the problem, right? So, and it's the same thing with like the term natural. Like, it's nice to know what companies are saying that they're doing, that they're following through, that there's no like dishonesty in that stuff. So, and somebody had mentioned, yes, supply chain use cases are huge, but there's a lot of competition there though.
Somebody said K-Dub was fat. Yeah, I was, guys. I have to put up a before and after one time. You wouldn't even believe it was me, but guys, it's a crypto channel. Let's talk about crypto.
Good for you though, anyways.
Yeah, I know enough. Everyone's like, oh, we was talking about his diet. Yeah, who cares about what?
New crypto organic coin. You know,
who cares about what I eat, guys? You know what I eat? Crypto.
There you go.
Matrix AI.
You're a zombie. You don't need anything.
I am a zombie. Stupid freaking name. I hate the freaking name. I hate the freaking name. I came up with it.
I think it's great. Honestly, like you said, you hear it once and you don't forget it. People don't know what Candor is, so that everybody's like, oh, your name's dumb. It doesn't make sense. I'm like, but if you Googled Candor, it would.
Yeah. I have people that tell me that they saw my videos several times before they took me seriously because of the name. But honestly, when I started this channel, I had no idea that people were going to care this much. I was like, well, let's see, zombies, you know, they like consume. All they care about is one thing. They don't sleep. They just want to constantly eat. So I was like, crypto zombie. That kind of sounds like me. You know?
That's more thought, quite honestly, than I probably put into mine. So I got to give it to you for that. But I mean, yeah, I didn't expect my channel to do what it did either. I don't think really anybody does. So
Sean on my chat hates my name. Sorry, Sean.
Oh, yeah?
Sean, I'm sorry, man. My name, whatever. Well, whatever. Maybe we'll have a rebrand and then we can go moon. Maybe I'll have a rebrand and I'll have like 100,000 subscribers because everybody will FOMO into my new rebrand.
Yes, somebody said something about me mooning as hard as TRX mooned. I'm like, if my channel was that successful, I'd be quite happy about that.
No, it will be, man. Just keep doing your thing. You have really great videos. Honestly, I appreciate the research that you do because there's a lot of channels. You know, I got to just put it out there. There's a lot of channels that just pump coins. That's all they do. And you know what? Yeah, if every day I go to CoinMarketCap, I log in, I look at whatever coin is 20%, 30%, and I just make a video about that, sure, I'll get a lot of views. But you know what? A lot of my subscribers are going to lose a lot of money. And, like, yeah. I don't feel comfortable having that type of responsibility.
No, and I mean, I agree with you. And as I am always pretty transparent, like I said, I started the channel because I wanted to hold myself accountable. I wanted to learn about projects. And every week I would find myself, okay, I'm going to read about this when I get home. I'm going to research about this when I get home. And I was too tired, or I got busy doing something else. So for me, I was like, I'll create the channel. You know, if you understand something well enough, you can teach it. So it's like, I want to be able to make a video about something. That's how I'll know that I know enough about it. And I just was really doing it for me at first, and then it kind of just took on a life of its own. And so I don't see a point in doing videos about prices and increases and ICOs and things like that, because it's like, to me, long term, that's not really benefiting anybody.
Yeah.
And a lot of these projects are so in-depth and so hard that, like, I'm trying to make content that I wish existed when I started getting into crypto, because it's hard to do this research. It's hard to find out all this stuff and be accurate. And the average person, like, trying to explain, like, to my sister or my brother about this stuff, it's not easy. So I wanted to make content that is a middle ground, right? So, like, people can watch it and at least understand a little bit or learn and not be totally overwhelmed.
I agree. And, you know, listen, when I first started my channel, I you know, if you go back to my earlier videos, I did a lot of, like, top 5, top 10 lists. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I had no viewers at the time, so I didn't really care. Now I do feel a little more responsibility. For me personally, coming out with a top 5, top 10 video, I do feel more responsible. I feel like people watch what I say. So I don't want to give people the wrong impressions. But, you know, I still like to kind of give those hints once in a while. Now, you can never be 100% correct. I mean, you know, I've had some hits, I've had some misses. You know, I suggested to everybody about Banyan Network. I don't know, you said you don't know about it, but Banyan Network is an amazing collaboration. It has high-performance blockchain. It has, you know, loop ring. It has really great dev team, very, very low market cap. You know, I brought it out around 10 cents or 11 cents. I think it hit 15 cents, and now it's sitting around 12. So, you know, obviously, I don't come out with the whole financial advice thing. I do want to try to help my community. I mean, I'm invested in it.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I told everyone about Ontology. Now, it's not that I want to shill. I do want to try to give that opportunity to potentially invest in good coins before they, you know, explode. But you never know. I mean, you have these black swan events. You have China banning this. You have Korea banning that. So, I mean, I could come out with a video. I could do all my research. I could be, you know, everything is straight. We're good to go to the moon. And then the SEC calls this a security, and then the whole thing crashes. So it sucks. You know, you try to do your best, but there's really nothing you could do. You try your best, and, you know, I do care about the community, but I just want everybody to know that it's not like I'm over here getting paid millions of dollars while you're just buying a bunch of, you know, crap coins. That's not the case. I mean, if I get involved in a project and I tell you that I'm doing it, I'm doing it. Like, I'm doing it. Like, I mean, you know, I think my most famous coin right now is A-Chain. I think that's the one that everybody keeps asking me when moon. And you know what? Wait till the next fork. That's all I could say. the next time that they fork, the next time that they have a DApp, I think that's when you're really going to see the price increase. So, you know, I haven't sold any of mine. I'm still involved in the loyalty program. So I stand by what I say, for the good or for the worse. That's all you could do, you know?
No, and you know, that's exactly the point. You find projects that you're passionate about, you stick to them. And like, I am very cautious about when I tell people what I like or what I don't like, because for the same purpose, like I don't want to feel, you know, oh, the price goes down and people get upset and on comments and things. And that's why I try, you know, the guys at Crypto Basic, the podcast, said to me, you know, I was reading your comments and for the most part, people are actually pretty decent. And I'm like, well, yeah, I think the difference between like you and I create content that is research and informative and stuff that we've looked into. It's not like all opinion pieces. So people can make comments and be like, I disagree with you, but they can't be like, you're a liar, you're wrong, this, that, and the other. Because most of the time, yeah, I will make errors. I'm human. Sometimes I add information that's outdated. But for the most part, I'm just saying factual stuff. Like I'm just relaying information that I'm finding and answering people's questions. So people can't get as defensive versus like if you do a video on like top 5, this is my opinion, then people can get mad because it's an opinion. But I find that most of the time, if you're factual and relatively unbiased, people respond pretty well because they're appreciative, because it's hard to find that in this little niche that we're in.
Absolutely. So what's going on, guys? Any questions? I feel like we've been doing this for an hour and 15 minutes, so I still haven't eaten. I haven't even eaten dinner yet. I'm over here.
Yeah, you should probably go do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not trying to rush off. Yes, okay, I get it, Sean. I look like Paul Rudd. Enough.
Yeah, you do kind of look a little like Paul Rudd.
All right, great. I'll be Ant-Man. Okay, sign me up. I'll get paid $1 million to be CG'd into a Avengers film. I'm down. So yeah, EOS.
I don't know anything about EOS.
Yeah, EOS, it's a very long project. Dan Larimer. Eat some crypto, I will. I've been eating crypto all day. So, yeah, guys, I don't know. I'm kind of just chilling. I mean, I guess we've been here. I mean, is there anything on your end? Is there anything you guys want me to ask?
Just talking about, like, TRX, which I know nothing about. All I know is that they copy and pasted their white paper, so I'm, like, not interested.
Yeah, Tronix is, well, Tron. It's one of those projects. It has a really, really big community. It's seen some incredible price action. I never personally got involved. You know, a lot of people say it's a lot of an announcement of an announcement of an announcement. Yeah, no, I have nothing against Tron personally. Nothing. I have nothing against. I don't know enough
really to have an opinion. I just know that it's another one of those divisive projects.
Yeah, no, I mean, Tron is just one of those things where as they begin to roll things out, as they begin to hit those milestones, you know, then I'll look a little bit deeper into it. But yeah,
I think some is DGD. I don't know what DGD is. It's not Digibyte.
Digix DAO.
Maybe. I don't know anything about that.
Digix DAO is kind of like Tether, but it's basically when you buy it, they guarantee that if you ever want to trade out your fiat, you can actually get real gold. So it's like they're like digitalizing gold. I think that's DGD. I don't know, because there's DGD and DGX. So there's actually 2 tokens on the network. So I haven't really 100% looked. I've looked into it, but it's not really like my thing. I don't really do that. So.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Digix DAO, yeah. Thanks, Sean. All right, so CryptoCandor. I mean, how do you? I mean, is it? It's been a night. It's been a chat.
It has been a night. I recorded earlier, so I got home and I recorded a video and then ate dinner quick and then started streaming with you. So it's been a busy night for me.
Well, I didn't even get to my dinner yet, so you're one step ahead of me. So.
Yeah, well, if I don't eat, I get hangry, and I would not have been able to focus long enough to do this stream, so I had to eat.
All right, guys. So, yes, Jace, you can hold all of my gold, and I'll keep the Bitcoin instead. All right, guys. So, that being said, thank you so much for coming out to my channel, especially shout out to CryptoCandor. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Alex.
Of course.
I know that we're both relatively new YouTubers, but I think it's really important that we kind of keep the circle not small, but I just don't want people to start venturing too far out on the beaten path and investing in these pump and dumps. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's going to give crypto the bad name moving forward. So just always do your own due diligence. Make sure that you guys are, you know, looking into the project. Don't take my advice, whatever I say. Even if I tell you something, still go research it, okay? Because I don't want you blaming me for anything, all right? So, yeah. I don't know. Anything
that's
else?
Pretty much me, too. I mean, guys, if you ever want to chat, I have a Discord. So if you go on like my Twitter, or even you'll see it in the video description too, pop on into my Discord, tell me why I'm wrong about something. If I didn't answer one of your questions in the chat and you guys want to ask me, hit me up. I'll be over there. I'm on pretty frequently, and I'm also always on Twitter. So
there you go. And if you guys want, I already have a link in the description for your channel, for CryptoCandor's channel. So if you guys want, check it out. Go subscribe.
And your link's in my description too.
Great. Thank you. Awesome. So, guys, thank you to everyone that came out. Thank you to CryptoCandor's channel. Thank you to my channel. You guys have been really amazing, and thank you for the great questions. Thanks, you guys are awesome. And K-Dub for president, I'm gonna have to pass on that one. I don't know. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I'm up for that, guys. So, all right. Thank you so much. I'm about to end the live stream, but everybody, CryptoCandor, you're the best. I really appreciate it, guys. So, here's the weird part where I have to end it. So. Bye.